I literally got a text one day, do you want to make music with Charli D'Amelio?
Obviously, she's one of the biggest TikTokers on earth. Yeah. How did that come about?
Yeah. I got the call from the manager, and then the manager's like, hey, at your facility, do you have a back door? Like, what is your security access?
Austin Sexton went from a cracked inbox to producing Charli D'Amelio's hits and running playback studios. When he produces, he studies how your brain reacts. A 20-cent D-tune on the master, a slight time shift, there's no AI that can compete with him.
Car pulls up, black car, Charli pulls in, sweetest girl in the entire world. And the song that you hear, literally the exact same demo. We get done, she's like, those are the vocals. You really want the Grammys, bro? It's gonna be the songs.
Oh, absolutely. I don't do it.
I don't like early sessions.
I refuse early sessions.
It depends. It's like if we're already there type thing, but nah, I'm not gonna wake up into that session and be like, all right, bro, we doing this at 7 a.m. That's kind of psycho.
Hell yeah, like walking in with
if
Starbucks.
If it just happened,
bro,
like if we was like if it was already like an all-nighter and then we just like 7 a.m. I mean, we could cut something. You know, that's mad different.
I can't even, unless it was at my house and I just woke up and had an idea. I can't remember the last time I've had an AM session.
That's a fact. Same. I want to blow my brains out.
I see you at noon.
Maybe
noon.
He
said noon, maybe 12.
But anyway, shout out to musicians that go to work early and get it done and then be home for the wife and kids. You guys are the real heroes and girls. So please make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Remember, one lucky person in the comment section is going to get that VIP Gold Edition Rosetta EQ or compressor.
And become a paid member, please, because you get money in the store. Members saw this episode first. What else we got in there, man?
Hey, I got you. I'll tell you what else they got in there.
I mean, weekly live streams. We get Zoom calls with us. Early episodes. You get merchandise. There's a lot of access to a lot of stuff, and you are supporting this podcast to allow us to do cool things like come to LA and film with some of our favorite people. Speaking of our favorite people, wait, my name is LJ.
Cool.
I'm an FL user.
Cool. We're also at the Engineer Space. Shout out to the Engineer Tees and Mixed by Ali for actually making this possible and giving us a space to actually talk to our friends, some people that we are really close friends with, and some legends as well.
What's your name?
My name is Devvon Terrell. I'm a Pro Tools user. When you introduce things, you sound like Bob Barker. Like the way you sold that. You say, what else do we have here today?
Come on down. But yes, it's Courtney T12, and I like how y'all did that. I like how you really did that. That was a really good.
Man,
he's a songwriter, bro. He's a songwriter.
I feel like you don't like me.
What do you mean?
Shit.
I feel like you starting not to like me.
How so?
Because I feel like you be giving him more credit than me lately. Like you be like, yo, he do that better than you.
That's not true.
Nah,
I never said he do that better than you. That's not true.
Like underhanded, you be doing that.
Underhanded, like
Courtney,
little slight.
Courtney, just because you never said it,
what's up?
You know I'm better than this guy.
All right. Anyway,
all jokes aside,
take the camera off my face. I want to put my middle finger. I want to put my middle finger.
All jokes aside, when we're in these spaces, you know that we have somebody very special on the couch, and today I'm very excited because this is one of my closest friends.
Our closest friend.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We gotta share our friends now.
That's a fact. Like the girls do.
Our closest friends that I've met in the music industry, and you don't get a lot of those.
That's a fact.
That you like just could talk about the Lakers with. But
diehard Laker fan.
This is one of the most talented musicians I know. He is an amazing song creator.
Right.
Credits from Kyle to Charli D'Amelio.
One of the biggest TikTokers on earth. I mean,
LA. You know what I mean? Amazing studio playback LA. And he's just an all around great and knowledgeable musician, artist, and producer. We got my dog, Austin Sexton.
Hey, appreciate y'all having me, man. Thank you guys so much for having me. I can't. It's really family on here right now. I feel like I always watch it. I mean, we all text and shit, but like actually being here. On the pod for the first time, I feel like it's full circle now, man.
Hey, man.
I feel like it's full circle, man.
Absolutely.
Before this drop, you know what I'm gonna text?
What?
Got one more day.
Oh my God, that was our joke. Yo, that came from that chat.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna explain that to you. I ain't gonna lie. That's a whole nother podcast. But all right, sorry. So one thing I want to say first and foremost is that Austin is our homie. Like this is like for real, bro. This is somebody who like we communicate with and talk to. This is one of our like few homies. You are like one of our few homies in LA that like. We actually just kick it. Like, I know we can kick it and stuff like that. So,
and I want to say before we get to the question, this is the reason why I feel like it's so important to get this is because I love the guests. I love when we have these people that we super look up to. But Austin is one of those people pre-pod that we would literally pod with in the studio.
That's a
this
fact.
pod started from just friends wasting studio time talking about gear. And I remember the first time we met, it took us hours to start working. But
facts. And, so what I was going to say was, the first question we ask everybody that comes on, and I'm happy about this and excited, you know why, everybody knows why I'm excited, is what was your DAW journey? So what was the first DAW you started in, and then where did you land today?
All right. So I will say, just like you guys introduce yourself, yes, I'm Austin Sexton. Pro Tools user.
Hey,
Nice.
Oh, brother.
I really started on Pro Tools because I started my musical journey as being an artist.
Right.
So, just like y'all, I'm on East Coast time.
Yeah.
Originally, at least, because now every time I go back to the East Coast, I feel disgusting because I wake up at like 11 o'clock. Like, damn, I lost my whole day.
Yeah.
Coming back here, I'm right on time, right around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
But I started my journey in Pro Tools as a singer songwriter. I grew up playing guitar.
Yeah.
Big John Mayer fan, big Eric Clapton fan.
Right.
Grew up kind of in that sort of space. Right. So when I came out to California. I was working out of Playback, which is now down here. It was in Santa Barbara at the time.
Yeah.
And that was my original stop when I came out from the East Coast to West Coast.
Moved. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so we were originally located in Santa Barbara.
Right.
Yeah. And like Playback's claim to fame is doing all the OG Katy Perry stuff.
Right.
So we had like Max Martin, Dr. Luke in the studio.
Right.
Shout out Overtone, who's actually here with me right now, and Tucker Bodine, who started the studio.
Right.
And so we had the Max Martin. Dr. Luke did Teenage Dream, Firework, California, all that stuff there.
Wow.
So when I went up there, OT and Tucker were my engineers, and that was my first real studio experience seeing Pro Tools, because you go to any studio, industry standard still. I don't know if we're ever going to see a day where like you walk into the main studio, it's like, I need a track in FL.
Yeah.
Word. Like, imagine.
Hey,
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Logic is number 2. I feel like it's immediately number 2.
Yes.
No matter what. It's like at our studios, we always have Pro Tools up. Logic is second with all the plugins loaded up.
Right.
It is very in our studio B we have FL. I ain't gonna hold you. It's not like a B tier thing, but it's like it's for the people who cooking upstairs. It's for the people cooking upstairs. You know what I'm saying? But I just learned because I wanted to learn how to track myself, because at the time like I was putting all my bread up into getting studio time. So I ended up getting a PC, got a cracked version of Pro Tools, had the M box back in the day.
Yeah. Which one?
Bro, I don't even remember. It was just like the blue and white one.
Oh my God!
Like the standard.
Yes. We've been talking about this a lot. That's why I'm like,
like the OG.
Yeah.
And just when I got my PC, just got I think I got a SM7B.
Right.
Was plugging right up and kind of learned how to track myself that way. Got a version of Auto-Tune cracked. Yeah. And it was all up from there. You know what I'm saying?
Evo. Shout out Auto-Tune Evo. Boy, did they punch through that one. I ain't gonna lie.
I was a 7 guy.
You was a 7 guy?
Yeah.
Auto-Tune 7.
Because I think that's when they first introduced the graphing function.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
Because a lot of times with people, like, you know how it's like it's either Melodyne or Auto-Tune graph, which you would say is kind of similar to like Pro Tools versus FL. Yeah. I'm a big Auto-Tune graph guy.
Gotcha.
And I know that some people have their issues with Auto-Tune. I think that their newest version of the newest version of Auto-Tune, their graph is insane.
Yeah.
It's insane, bro.
Yeah.
Like the amount of artifacts when you're like actually doing the line tracing, it's like barely anything.
Yeah.
It's
like
crazy.
I deep dive into it, and have you tried their harmonizer in it yet?
I haven't used that yet.
Okay.
But I see it's like a function immediately at the top.
Yeah, it's fun, bro. Like you can literally take like one vocal and like make 4-part harmonies in it. And you know how sometimes you're like, it's not gonna, bro, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard because you can take like, you can literally make 4 voices and then you can say pan that one left, then do another octave down right. Like you can pan
right within the actual Auto-Tune?
Within the Auto-Tune itself.
Okay,
yeah, it's fire. It actually sounds decent too. Like I actually liked it. I was like, oh, it actually sounds like kind of believable if you hit it, the right way and stuff like that.
I keep it OG with just the harmony engine.
Right.
You know? And like sometimes I'll even use MIDI with it as well.
Oh, and play into it.
But no, I haven't actually used that function yet. I'm just so used to throwing it on when we're tracking, and then when the artist comes into the from the booth, it's actually taking like 10 minutes to graph it up.
Right.
But I mean, also, Pro Tools has the Melodyne built into it now, but I still don't use that as much as I'd like to.
I hear you. I'm using Melodyne way more than I did before now that it's there, but I'm still like, I'm cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I think they only give us like the essential one in it anyway. So I can't get the one that separates like chords.
Yeah.
Like that is like
for the guitar,
advanced.
you need to have the higher graded version.
Yeah, exactly. For it and stuff like that. That was it.
Hey man, I do want to say how we met, and it's funny because before we turned on the cameras, I was rattling my brain to remember how we met. Long story short, I think we were in a session, Dev. No, we got called into a session. Shout out to Ari. Big Ari. She just called us.
Shout out Ari.
And
Berger.
Jack Newsome. She said, hey,
Shout
I
out
got this
Jack.
kid.
Oh, wow, yeah, Jack.
I got this kid, Jack. Want to get you in a session. We got there. Austin was there as well. OT, you were there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were just, that was my first pop session.
Shout out OT to the too.
Really?
And so
One of your first pop? Really?
My first pop session, bro.
Yeah.
I do
it was
remember him saying that,
was my
yes.
first time in LA as well.
Yeah, it was.
Right?
Yeah.
And we came through, we did a dope record, and just I remember just seeing you navigate the session was so dope to me because I'm still learning how to like deal in a big studio. So I was just like, you were everywhere.
Yeah.
Fucking you introduced this to Oliver. Shout out to Oliver Power Tools.
Oliver Power Tools. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
but that was a long time ago.
But you know who introduced me to that? Who was Jack?
Yeah, because I remember y'all connected on that. Like y'all, like he was like, I know where you going, and then you open it, he's like Oliver Power Tools, and me and Levis was like,
I'm not gonna lie. In the pop space, I feel like if you're just trying to create quick,
right?
If you don't have those on deck, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, fact. Hey, real quick, just had a huge favor that I wanted to ask you, and that is, could you please subscribe to the channel? It would mean so much to the growth of this podcast, as well as ensure that we're able to do more and more cool things on this channel on a weekly basis. So once again, it would mean so much. It would be a huge favor to us, and it would help us so much. Please subscribe to the channel. Okay, now, back to your episode.
Yeah.
No. Once you put us onto that, bro, we went always just like we took it crazy.
Oh my God.
So I appreciate that. You know, when also speaking of that night when we first met, I remember you played us a song. It was so funny because Austin was real reserved. He was cool, and Ari was mostly doing all the like most of the talking, and stuff like that. And she was like, "This motherfucker's dope." Yeah. She was like, "Play that shit that you not gonna put out, like, but that you're sad about and shit." And he was like, "All right." He was like, "This is my excerpt from part 1 of part 5 of 6." And I was like, "Oh, this dude about to get deep." And you played that song. You know what song I'm talking about? It was the intro to some EP.
Bro, it's so crazy that you say that because this artist that I work with, this Mexican pop artist, his name is Alexis, out of Phoenix, Arizona. He literally texts me every day for the last like 2 years about that intro. Bro. And finally the other day, because it was gonna be for an album I was working on called The Closure You Seek. He texted me about it. He was like, I need that intro. And I found it the other day. And I texted to him after 2 years. And he called me literally almost tearing up like, bro, I've needed this for so long. Thank you. So it's so crazy that you even bring that up.
Wow, bro, seriously, like it stuck with us so hard. I remember we was in the studio, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Yes. And it was just a magical session.
Also, side note, like everybody like you were just impersonating me for the last like 2 weeks, bro. Everybody's been doing me like, I speak so proper. Like everyone's like, bro, I'm in a session the other day with some people I didn't know, like straight hood session, bro, like straight urban, like 3 o'clock in the morning type shit. Everybody smoked out. They're like, dude looks at me, he's like, bro, is you a fucking narc? And I'm like, and I'm sitting in the session just like, I'm engineering my own business, like doing my thing, like making it sound good. And like everybody's smoked out because you know that type of session, 3 o'clock in the morning, everybody's just vibing on the music. And everybody was like, yo, this sounds good. But the dude who was actually like paying for the session, like it's his session, I think he might have just been too high, bro. But I'm just sitting there like talking real proper. He's just like, he's like, yeah, bro, you a narc, bro. You the feds, you wearing a wire? I'm like, this is, I guess I really speak like this.
Yeah, having an engineer wear a wire
is crazy. But I'm not gonna lie, FBI like, that's a good one.
But I kid you not, that first session we had and he played that intro, it made me
inspiring.
It was inspiring from a production standpoint for me because it was just like, there was so much going on, and it literally took me and made me say, oh, it made me feel like, all right, in my pop production, there's not enough going on. From a just standpoint of, making trap beats is super simple. It's not too much on the whether it's just ambiance side or just, you know what I mean, movement and all of that. Hearing your records and hearing all of these things that just blend together made me feel like the Max Martins and it made me feel like, all right, this goes with the Katy Perrys, this goes with the Calvin Harrises, like it'll fit in that playlist. And that made me damn near take a whole new approach of just, all right, there's always a little more to do. And we're not always there. So I wanted to know, how do you approach, I guess, production from a pop space? Because that's your forte, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that I look at it as I just try to throw as much in as I can and strip back from there. Kind of like Kanye did with Yeezus, sort of situation where it's like he had somebody come in and actually take layers away. So the first thing I do when I'm making a pop record is a lot of times I start with just pads. I just recently bought a Juno 6. I'm trying to get back into like doing analog gear. I know that everybody's got like the Arteria stuff. People laugh at me about like actually taking that kind of money and like purchasing things, but it's a different feeling. And it's just like something that's kind of simple to my heart.
We talk about this all the time.
We also what do we just get? The other keyboard? We saw it at NAMM. I can't remember what it's I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
Remember the brand?
It is the brand is ASM. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But I try to just throw in as much as possible. A lot of my stuff derives from like 80s, but I try to like incorporate a lot of new pop drums, and try to do a lot of like. I also like to throw in, whether I'm doing it for myself or other people, like a lot of urban cadences on pop, just because I feel like you need that blend.
Yes,
and I think that urban is actually popular music as well.
Yeah,
but I just try to take a simpler approach with it, throw as much in, strip it back. Also, too, when I'm creating, I don't know if you guys do this, but when I'm kind of at a place where I'm stuck, I take Sound Shifter and I put it on my master and I pitch it up like 4 or 5 dB or 4 or 5 semitones, and I listen for the empty spaces. I don't know if that's something that you guys have heard before, but I love doing that. And I'll sit and listen 2 or 3 times. I'll be like, and when you bring it back down, you just hear stuff that might need to go back in.
Exactly.
Interesting. So hold on, state it, because the only person we knew that even played with that was Mike Classic. Remember Mike Classic would just randomly, periodically in the session, he just pitch it the whole octave down, and he just listened. And I'll be sitting in the session like,
you just playing.
I'm like, you just playing, but he would listen for a long time like that and just do stuff. So let me ask you this on that mindset, because that's kind of cool. So you're pitching the song down, master bus, sound shifter, like -4, right? Like 4 semitones.
A lot of times I go up, I'll go +5.
Okay.
It's rare that I go down. If I'm working on a slower song, I'll go down. If I'm working on a faster song, I'll go up.
What do you notice when you go up? Like what do you feel like? Oh, like what kind of like you catch like when you go up?
When I go up, I'm listening for movement. I'm listening to, like, if I have a song that's just like pads, the top line's moving a little bit fast because like the pad is stagnant, so you're trying to put the salt and the pepper.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? What's the ear candy? I'm listening for the ear candy. If I pitch it lower, I'm listening for what the vocal is doing and if it needs more movement.
Gotcha. Interesting. That's such an interesting. I'm not gonna lie, like that is Zaire. Thank you. Clip that.
Yeah, I would never think, wow.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
You know what I mean? And now that also takes me to something in your production that I'm not gonna lie, I borrow from time to time, like a library, bro. And this is a pop staple, but just the way you do it, bro, is halfway through the record or at the end of the record, let's pitch everything down, let's transpose, let's modulate. But the way you do it is so dope because you'll incorporate formant, you'll pitch down your vocals sometimes, but also layer it with backgrounds that are like live. I don't know. It's just how often do you do that still? How do you end up pitching the beat down or replaying?
Like a lot of that stuff that I was doing, I do a lot for other people now. Shout out, there's this girl that I've been working with a lot named Annika K. She is an Indian R&B singer. Okay. And she's just crazy, like super inspired by like party. But it's she likes to describe herself as music for pretty girls that smoke. So, which is pretty dope.
It's a good album name.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
And she likes to borrow for P.A.D. So I like, when I do like formants and transposes, I try to treat the vocals as pads. Yeah. You know, a lot of things I've been seeing in sessions a lot too that I've kind of implemented is the formant in the throat. Everyone's like, a lot of people are like, oh, I want like more throat or I want less throat. Right. A lot of times I'm turning down on the formant. Okay. So you get a little bit more of a
rounder sound.
Doing that. And then a lot of times just to make it, I don't necessarily agree with this, but I do this just because it works in the moment. And a lot of times, you know, if you catch that vibe, that's just what it's going to be. You don't really go back to it. Right. A lot of times I'll just bounce what I have out. Right. And then bring it back in. And in Pro Tools, the Elastic Pro function, incredible now. I think the algorithm is so good. Yes. I did the thing with Avid when I was over at NAMM, and I was explaining like how much I love it. Right. I think that algorithm is 99% of what Serato pitch and time is. I think it's incredible. Interesting. And I'll take it and I'll do a BPM switch inside of the DAW. Okay. I'll use Elastic Pro and I will drag out to make it slower. Right. And sometimes that's all you need. Right.
Whoa. And you call it a day.
I wonder what plugin do you use for your formats?
I was going to ask
straight in auto-tune or do you use like sound shifter?
It kind of depends on the situation. If the person wants it in the moment, I'm probably using auto-tune. Yeah. If it's post, I'm probably just using Alter Boy.
Gotcha. Of course. Classic. Right.
Classic. I don't know. I'm not somebody who really believes in like trying to go outside of the box. If it's not broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I stick with that. Right. Another thing I like to do too, in those like situations at the end where you might pitch it down, slow it down, is rather than just actually using the Elastic Pro function or using Sound Shifter to pitch it. A lot of times I like using Sound Shifter, but like let's say I go down 3, I'll also use the sense as well. So I'll make it like a little bit off, just so it gives you that like it's a thing with the vertigo in your brain. You know what I'm saying? Like it throws you off a little bit.
Right.
Also, too, I almost like doing that on the master.
Yo,
I ain't gonna hold you. I like to pitch like 20 cents.
Like just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
You know what it does? To be honest, it reminds me of kind of like the thoughts of tape.
Yeah.
Right,
Yes.
like you know, how sometimes tape when you hit it a lot, like sometimes it starts to get like that quality to it, and I feel like that detuning kind of like gives you that kind of like more old school thing. And for some reason, because sometimes you ever get a beat and like from someone, and it's like
it's in a specific key, but it's
in
like
between.
a little bit out.
It's in between, and I'll notice, and I'll be like, "Yo, this shit in between."
I love that. I love that shit because it's like I never understood what that was.
Pitch it down.
Yo, literally, I hate
that shit too.
that. If you don't tell me, if I don't
record,
notice,
and
you know it.
Can I be honest? Top 2 pet peeves are when they're in between keys and when they're
in between BPMs.
Oh yeah.
Not like I always get beats that are like 95.827.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I think that's crazy.
That's
bro.
that's
when you get like
evil.
the 80 points, like 0.76, just because you're trying to be different, bro.
But,
like,
bro, it's not even like I get that a lot from sample producers because they literally, especially Machine, they literally just chop it into like whatever. They do the tap tempo, but the tap tempo doesn't round.
Yeah.
So the
that's fair.
It doesn't round at all.
Why would they do that?
Because it's
knows, man. And plus, on top of that, you're playing with samples, you're pitching down. Sometimes they're doing it straight off of the vinyl, so it's like
it's kind of out of time. It needs to be absolute. Like I need to be able to get in between.
I don't even think in Ableton it rounds. I could be wrong. I don't think it rounds either. Because normally what I just do, if it gives me like a closest decimal point, I'm just like, all right, if it's closer like above 5, regular basic math shit, you just round up. Below, just round down.
FL on tap tempo, FL will round for you.
It'll round for you
because y'all don't have a decimal point in the counter.
Pro Tools rounds for us too. But if like. I haven't had to do this in a long time because I'll do the tab to transient like in Pro Tools and just lock it the tempo on the transient. Yeah. But in school, they used to teach us to use like highlight like 8 bars, like a perfect 8 bars, and then Command I, identify beat. And then that's an old, I don't know if anybody's still doing that. Identify beat. And sometimes I'll get the point. It'll give me like exact, like this is the perfect loop. This is how much it is. And that's it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't do that.
To come back to what I was talking about earlier on the keyboard stuff, it's the ASM Hydrosynth.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
I saw that name as well.
Yeah.
Was that with you?
Yeah, we were walking around. It was you, me, OT.
Gaurav?
I think you might have been there.
I might have been. I had to
probably.
Be,
Yeah, I think before we went to the FL booth.
Oh yeah.
But bro, we were walking around playing that thing. Every single patch sounds like a hit.
Word.
Every pitch,
every
patch sounds like a hit. And it's got I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but like when you press down and the harder you press, the more that the envelope.
The MPE.
Aftertouch.
Yeah, aftertouch.
Aftertouch.
Yeah. Is that considered MPE by any chance?
No, it's just, but it's cool.
It's just a right.
Cool
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Cool
and I ain't gonna hold you. Like the price tag was kind of hefty for like what it is.
Right.
So I, immediately after NAMM, like I was like, hey, like since I talk like this, I'm Austin, and I work with Playback Los Angeles, and we would love to like demo you, and get no response back. So like, me and your boy OT had to just buck it up. You know what I'm saying? But it is worth it on the production end, bro. Right. It is 100% because I mean. Yeah, everybody got the RTS. Everybody got the Omnispheres. Everybody got the silence.
Yeah.
Everybody using the
same shit.
Yeah, the FL limiter, bro.
Facts. You already know. Terrible.
So I wonder. I'm sorry. I wonder how are you tracking? Are you putting it through any pre's? Are you just going DI?
Right now, just because I've been busier with a lot of things, I'm just trying to kind of create and go and just go and go and go. When it comes to my own personal stuff, I'll take the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if I'm really like locked in with an artist, you know what I'm saying? Like if we're in there for like a week and we're really trying to just do something different, it's like we're gonna try and go through some pedals.
Yeah.
I got a couple different pedals that I love for my guitar stuff that I'll try to run the keyboards through.
Gotcha.
And then like OT will run it through the AWS and try to like make it sound a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? With like the
you got an AWS?
Yeah.
Did y'all been at that?
Yeah. 900, 24 channel?
Yeah. I never noticed you had an AWS. I never noticed that.
Yeah. Wow. That's like that's like the crown jewel in the A-room.
Yeah. I never looked. I guess I just never looked at the board. Yeah, you could continue to, but yeah, as far as your preamps and stuff, I got a lot of cool stuff in there. Also, I want to bring this up. Does Ivan work with y'all, or is he there all the time? Like, what's his relationship with y'all?
Like, the best way to describe Ivan is like he's just all over the place. My boy is like 1099 forever for anything. You know what I'm saying? So he is an assistant with the studio. He does help out with it's not like he's like an intern or something. Ivan does his own thing. Right. I know that you guys work with Ivan a lot. Like that's my guy. We just did something with we just did some stuff for Arteria the other day with our Astrolab stuff.
That was hilarious. The video y'all made was that with the
kid.
Hilarious, bro.
How do you like the Astrolab?
It's to be honest with you, I think it's really, really dope. They modeled it after the Juno. That's why it looks the way that it does. It's Arteria and a keyboard.
Right.
That's all it is. It's just Arteria and a keyboard. So it's like, if you're somebody who likes to play, like you actually need to touch the keys.
Right.
Maybe stage.
Yeah, on stage. Yeah, you actually want to get those sounds.
Right.
I really like their Jupiter. They have a plugin. Yeah, the Jupiter plugin. Their basses are great.
Right.
Have you tried the Poly Brute?
I'm not.
Oh man, they have it with the MPE in it as well, and Aftertouch, and it's dope as hell. It's a dope synth. I think I want to cop, but that's a hefty.
How much is it going for?
It's like 5 or 6, bro.
Lord have mercy. What is your favorite keyboard? Like as of like. Not as of right now, because I'm sure it's the new one that you got. But what is like your favorite keyboard, like that you like a go-to, like your go-to one, like that you go to a lot?
Probably DX7.
Okay.
I love. I mean, I just love the sound. I also like the JX8P. But for me specifically, a lot of sounds, like the one sound that I try to implement into my own stuff and other people's stuff is like the DX7 like E piano.
Okay.
Like 90s joint. Yeah. Like that is my
like
it's so good. It's so good. If you can dial it in right and you can like just make it work within now production, it's just like a cherry on top. It's just like
how does it feel?
What's up?
How does it feel?
Yeah, how's it feel? Yeah, it's
on
that.
that.
Oh my goodness. It just
feels speaking of that, when it comes to plugins and analog synths, right?
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. For a long time, I used to be with him and be like, bro, don't get a try-in or don't get this and stuff. I'm like, bro, just get the plugin. You'll be fine. You can figure it out. And I recently did my project and I had my guy, shout out Mitch Lance, come by and changed my life. Like completely changed my alter. He's a massive keyboard guy. He brought like 5 different keyboards and I was just like, let's have fun. So what is something that you can give us as far as like plugins versus the actual like analog synths that you have? Like, what do you feel about the difference between them, and what do you prefer?
Is there one that's super close and one that's just not even close?
Right.
I think that the Oberheim is not even close.
Got you to the original, like the actual
the
analog
original,
synth.
just like the weight of it. Like Arteria does a damn good job. Like this is not me like trying to knock any plugin companies. Like they're so big because they do so damn well.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't make the Astrolabs keyboard if you don't have it like at least 90% of the way.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's a certain weight, there's a certain feel, and also too, this is the biggest thing because like it almost goes to the same thing as like having a vocal template, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You could have Future's template, you could have Katy Perry's template, but it's the person who's operating it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like just because you have the Jupiter versus the Jupiter plugin, it's the person who's operating it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there's certain things like when you're actually playing it live that you can do in that moment that it's really hard to recreate
on a plugin.
virtually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can draw in envelopes, you can draw like the LFO stuff, but like to actually do it with the weight of it, with the electricity in that moment, you're just it's just
different.
It's different to me, bro.
For sure.
That's the way to explain it.
I'm bringing it up because when I was doing my project, like all the bare production was done already, and then we were having our session of saying, okay, let's put the extra production on the top of the whole thing. This episode is supported by Colossal, and today we're excited to tell you about Drops, their brand new product for producers and beat makers. When selling beats and collaborating with artists online, us producers are jumping around to different apps. File sharing, emails, DMs, and payments, and it can get really overwhelming to stay on top of it all. This is where Drops by Colossal comes in. It brings together all the essential tools and simplifies the whole beat buying and selling experience. Creating a drop is super fast. Just upload your beat to Colossal and you get a unique drop link that you can share with artists in DMs on your socials. Drop is one of the best experiences that you as a producer can give to an artist that you work with. It looks amazing. An artist can buy a license in seconds. And when you sell a beat, you instantly get paid to your PayPal account. Drops is free to use with no subscription fees and available right now. Sign up at colossal.fm/producers to get started. Yeah. And I was like, yo, bring all those analog synths. Like, let's just bring them. I just really want to like capture tones and, play with stuff. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying different things. I'm running things through my different preamps. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, it sounded so much better than these plugins. Yeah. Like, and I know a lot of people out there, especially the younger, kids are probably like, I got the plugin, I'm good. When I mean there was such a difference, and that's why I wanted to ask you that, because I noticed a massive difference.
It's the weight,
in the
bro.
feel.
Yes, it's the weight.
It was all in the bottom and like the mids. I was just like, usually my plugins feel more brighter sounding, kind of brittle.
Yes.
But this one just felt like
Thinner.
all his stuff was just warm, and I know that's coming from like how it's capturing.
Were you
that
guys
low.
going right in? Or were you going through pre's?
I was going through I was going through my Newton channel. I was going through my Apogee just direct because I like those preamps. Those preamps are really nice. Those preamps are really not dark, but they're really like the way they capture low end. I really like them. Yeah. So I was going directly to my Apogee preamps, and they sounded, sounded amazing.
And it was through you said it was out of the Newton channel into the Apogee.
So my Newton channel is obviously it's just one channel. Yeah. So I was using it for like maybe like a guitar or something like that. But when it came to his keyboards, which is stereo, I was going like the Apogee. But sometimes I would even do something wild, and I was going through my Audioscape 260 VU. Okay. So I was going through that just to add a little bit of that bite to it. It was that's why the sound of those synths sound like that. Like, and I was just like, bro, it made me like really want keyboards. Like, it jump in it. He had I think you mentioned a JSP. I forgot which one he had, but that was my favorite one, and it was so nice. Yeah. So the difference between plugins and analog, do you notice a difference between the two, like for you and your production? Are there some that you like, I could do with the plugin as opposed to like the actual hardware?
If we're talking about like time efficiency, there are certain keyboards that I would bring with me to get a certain sound, but then like for the rest, I would use VST. Yeah.
Got you.
Specifically, like I would bring my Juno with me. I would bring the Hydrasynth with me. But if I'm gonna go for like pop bass sound, like I'll probably use like the Korg inside. Or if I'm just gonna go with Reese bass, like we all got our different versions for Reese bass. But it's like I'm not gonna drag a 106 somewhere just to make a Reese bass.
I get you.
So it just depends on really the genre and the type of music that you're trying to
Understood.
For sure. I want to like. The thing I think that really makes me love playback is how it's not just a record. It could be a recording studio. Y'all could book time. But every time I've been there or every time we get on the phone, it feels like there's also this production access you give to artists.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did that come about? Because a lot of studios don't really offer that.
I think that's come about because specifically when I was in Santa Barbara learning, underneath the OT, because he's like my mentor, like one of my best friends.
Right.
He always taught me that it's like I kind of watched his experience, and he always gave a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and like you go to a lot of label studios, you gotta go to studios. It's like you just get the room, right?
Right.
But we've always wanted to be involved in the actual process. You know, it's not necessarily like just trying to get the credits and stuff. It's just like at the end of the day, who really cares about owning a studio?
Yeah.
Like sure, like the studio actually has potential to make money, this and that. You're bucking it out. You're just renting. But like, if we're in the music industry, like we want to have our hands on the board. I want to play the guitar. I want to play the keys and stuff like that.
I get that.
So it really starts with being the engineer.
Right.
And like, if you don't have that many credits, right? Ain't nobody really gonna like be like, hey, I need you to produce this, produce that, unless it's like first timers coming into the studio.
Right.
So it always started as just being the engineer, being able to hit 3, and then as an engineer, being like, oh, I got this pack of beats. Yeah. When they run out, and that's going to happen, you know.
Right.
And then from there, oh, you made these beats? Yeah, I'm also a multi-instrumentalist.
Right.
I'm a producer. By the way, I'm platinum. By the way, like I'm also an artist. I could do your backgrounds. Yeah. So it's like the whole services thing.
Understood.
Yeah. So it just came from learning to try to put your best foot forward, give somebody the best opportunity that they can have, and once they trust you, then you can kind of give yourself out there a little bit, be like, I also do this, and this, because building those connections, putting yourself out there gives you more opportunities.
Right.
Yeah. So, and it's mom and pop too. That's the other thing. That's
right. And it always felt that, even when I first went there, we get the chips, like the cookie. I think I had like a bunch of stuff for me. I was like, fire little.
Yeah, we try to do the snacks. I mean, like all the like I was just at Westlake, like everybody does the cookies. Now, I feel like the cookies is the standard.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like
Winmark got this lemonade that is amazing. Like that's their thing.
Interesting.
Shout out Winmark Studios.
Right. Yeah, but like every studio kind of has it's their thing, you know. Right. So at that particular time when you guys came, we were trying like, is it going to be the Sour Patch Kids? Is it going to be a plethora of things?
Yeah.
Is it going to be? But it's always been just like attention to detail, service to the client.
Yeah.
And like we're mom and pop, like we rent to the majors all the time. You know what I'm saying? Which is dope because as people who are 1099 doing this ourselves, it's like we can get that money.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time too, it's like we can actually build a friendship and buld
relationships with these people and stuff. Yeah. Speaking of that, with opportunity and stuff like that, how did the record obviously you produced for Charli D'Amelio, right?
Oh man, yeah.
And I mean, I remember. I think that was how our joke started. One more day, and my phone going off. Like, How did that come about? Like for you to produce? Obviously, she's one of the biggest TikTokers on earth. Like I remember when you got it, I was so happy for you too. By the way, I hope we expressed that to you. But how did that whole thing like come about?
So a friend at the time, it's literally not even the craziest story ever, to be honest with you. It's like I literally got a text on my phone one day. Do you want to make music with Charlie D'Amelio? That was literally the text I got. And at the time, like, I'm 34. Like, I'm not really on TikTok like that. Like,
So
like I am, but like I'm not.
Right.
You know. So at that particular time, I wasn't.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, this is the rate. You know what I'm saying?
That shit cool.
And then they're like, all right, we're gonna have somebody text you in a little bit. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, just tell me where to send the invoice.
Right.
And then I got the call from the manager.
Right.
And then the manager's like, hey, you representing Charlie D'Amelio.
Right.
I don't want to get too much into names and stuff like that, but do you, at your facility, do you have a back door? Like, what is your security access? And as soon as they started asking about the security access, I was like, okay, this is
a bigger situation. Yeah, bigger situation. Right, of course. Right, right.
So, car pulls up maybe like 25, 30 minutes later. Like, black car. Yeah. Charlie pulls in. I'm just like, hi, nice to meet you.
Right.
Sweetest girl in the entire world.
Nice.
Bro, and it's like one of those moments where I had like maybe 15, 20 minutes to really look up who this person was.
Right.
She walks through the door, sweetest girl in the world. It just so happened that she went to high school where a girl I was dating at the time, they were all from the same area. Wow. Families knew each other. Like, what are the odds? Type of situation.
Right, right.
So, and it turns out that the girl I was dating, her cousin's boyfriend happened to be working with somebody that I was working with, and their families knew each other.
Okay.
It was like everything in that moment just worked.
Right.
So, they're like, yeah, put a couple demos together. We'll come back through. Listen, the very first song that we played was just a one-on-one session with her and I. I played her a song, and the song that you hear or that was out is literally a cutting, like the exact same demo minus 2 or 3 lines that were changed by some of the writers that came in.
Gotcha.
And it was literally like, let's just do this. However, I think that the song was specifically promo for their season 2 on Hulu.
With the family show,
I don't think she necessarily like wanted to do music like that. It was just a situation to like help promote the show.
Right.
Playback got to be on Hulu. Of course, I got a couple lines in there. You know what I'm saying?
It was awesome.
It was cool,
yeah.
You know?
It was mind-boggling, bro. I was like, yo, what just happened?
It was a really cool experience. The only thing I will say that was a little deterring is we actually had the vocals cut, right?
Right.
The day that Hulu came in to record the show portion of it, they wanted to re-record the vocals that day. And you all know how it is when like TV shows come in, all the doors needed to be open. They're trying to run lights and cameras in the booth, and all the doors had to be open, and they wanted me to blast the music, so the music's bleeding through the doors into the Colossal 251 that I'm using. They needed everything cranked.
Right.
So we get done. She's like, those are the vocals. We haven't even listened back to them yet. Everybody leaves. OT and I pull up the session. All you hear is bleed, bro.
Oh my god.
All you hear is bleed. So
it.
me and OT methodically for like 3 days, bro, had to go through every syllable, bro. Every syllable and make sure that there was no bleed between the old vocals, the new vocals, and blend it together.
Wow, bro.
That was
a nightmare.
Like, once again, I'll reiterate this a million times. Sweetest girl in the world. Yeah. The situation was great. Everybody a part of the whole situation was good. Sure. That moment, because of Hulu, made that record. Yeah, it was tough. There was only so much. And then even in the master, bro, if you listen to the song, the record's a little low. We couldn't pull it up anymore because no matter what you were doing, you were just it was
bringing
just
up bleed.
Bad.
Right. Yeah.
It was all bad.
Wow, that's crazy,
Who
bro.
would have thought? And whole time somebody, all of that for somebody to just watch the show and be like, dope studio session. We got to react to that.
Facts. I'm like, little do you realize that they're bleeding into the studio. Yeah. We talk about this sometimes because we laugh at a bunch of TV production stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
And we laugh at and we all laugh at this when we watch like music shows and they're doing something that you like, ain't no way.
There ain't no way.
How's is that clean sounding?
Yeah, for sure. We was watching, I think he was watching like old Disney shows.
Oh my goodness.
And he was like supposed to be a producer in his bedroom, and we was looking at his equipment.
Let it shine.
He's producing in an open bedroom. MXL facing the wrong way. Logo out.
Yeah.
But I was gonna hold you. It's probably better that they do it that way, bro, because the experience that I had is why they do that. Because I would have much rather acted and been like, oh yeah, this is amazing, rather than like being on the fly with Hulu,
really working.
like really actually working.
Right.
Really actually
bullshit the vocal.
What happened?
At least we know they didn't bullshit. Like she actually.
She actually went and did it. Well, shout out to her.
But it's crazy because she got crushed. for that record.
Yeah.
She got crushed for it.
She did.
You know?
I peeped that.
Yeah, she got crushed for it. And everyone's like, oh, auto-tune this, auto-tune that.
Right.
She was actually really good. She was actually singing.
I didn't.
Like, don't get it twisted. 99.9% of people using auto-tune, using Melodyne.
I didn't. Honestly, bro, that felt, when that happened, I felt like I was like, what's happening? Like, I was just like, what are y'all talking? It was so confusing. I was so confused.
The record is hard.
It was a great record. I was just like, when I first heard it, I was like, oh shit, she's like out of here. Like in my head, I was like, she could take this and run. But
I played you guys the demo at the studio.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, you gave a great record. Like I was like, she got a great record. I took it serious too. Like you know, sometimes you like a pops, like a socialite, like kind of just like I want to do music and do stuff. I was like, oh, she actually got something. I was like, this sounds really dope. Especially when I heard she was working with you, I was like, oh, she's good. Like it's gonna be dope.
I mean, everybody gonna react to records different ways. You know? Like, it ain't nothing. At the end of the day, I'm just happy that Playback got the exposure.
Yes,
it was great for the team. We actually got a lot of business from the show.
Nice.
I still maintain a great relationship with her. I'm not talking to her every day, but it's like we didn't leave on bad terms.
Right.
I thought the video was great, and at the end of the day, it was all cool, man.
Yeah, I love
it.
The
Opened
whole
up a lot of
production.
doors. You know how many publishing companies called immediately after that? Strictly just off of the off the pub. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I see you lately. You've been in a lot of writing camps. Because last time I tried to come link with you, you was like, I was in Joshua Tree, which I thought was so cool. So you did a writing camp at Joshua Tree?
Yeah, did 2 camps out in Joshua Tree. I've been in a lot of rooms lately, just whether it be for vocal production, production, or just engineering.
Right.
I will say that like I'm not the biggest fan of camps.
Yo,
I'm not the biggest fan of camps.
Talked about this.
And to be honest with you, like the only way I'm doing camps nowadays is if like it is at my studio,
right,
or it is at a place that I'm comfortable with, because like the house situation, being at the time I was in Joshua Tree, it was like 107, like even at like 6 o'clock, it's like 100 degrees.
Yeah.
The pool's warm,
right?
It's breezy. We was just eating hot dogs, bro, the whole time.
Right.
Like, and a lot of times, if like it wasn't a label situation. Don't get me wrong. The person I was out there with,
right,
amazing artist, like had an amazing time. I got paid to be out there.
Right.
So, and a lot of times you're just going off the strength I actually got paid to be out there.
Right.
But the thing about it is, it's just like the house situation is just not my favorite.
You know, like the house kind of like.
Yeah. Also, too, I was with people I didn't really know like that.
I get it.
That's the biggest thing. And
it's with people I didn't know.
I kid you not, we were talking about this
last night. And we were just like, I'm over
no
camps.
More camps.
I love them. Like for me, the camps are great. Like I do meet people that I'm like, oh wow,
great songs come from camps.
Great songs come from it. But I dread walking into the room and like,
especially when you don't know,
you know, like
having to put on your best face for people that you don't really know.
And then coming to my personal space of music, and we might not click.
We might not
click.
You know,
and my biggest thing is like it feels like when you have a camp and it's two factors. One factor being you don't know anyone in there,
right?
Or maybe know just one person or whatever. And then the second factor, you don't know too much of the artist, so you're not passionate about the artist's music.
Yeah,
it just becomes a task.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And maybe you may click and y'all may make a great record, but it was all right. We had to fill in these bullet points to get, because it's a female artist. We got to write about this. It's R&B, and we don't know each other, so we're all trying to figure. So how do you write? And yada yada. Like what's your process? If all 4 of us got into a camp for someone we all fucking Dua Lipa or some shit that we all just like, it was like, I know there's gonna be a blast.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Not only do we just love working with each other, but we love her music. Right. But when you take those 2 factors out, it becomes this weird thing that too much of can be.
Yeah, it can be kind of
and funny enough, we all met through a camp.
I think y'all pulled up to. I know it was for Jack. It was for Jack.
That was more of like, hey, we got this session. Pull up. Just she assembled assembled a little team. That wasn't a camp, because in that one I was just like, all right, cool. Like we have a little bit of a baseline of like, you know what we're doing, because we came right in. We just met you. You play music. We play music, and then
did you know Jack before?
That was my first time meeting Jack.
But you knew, I knew
of Jack.
Oh, okay.
So I was working with Ari because we were talking about possibly like having me with 12 Tone.
Right.
At the time before 12 Tone went to
Sony.
Yeah.
Somebody, it got sold.
Something like that. Yeah.
Right.
So that's why I was working with Ari, because she was interested in my artist project and production.
Right.
And then the way that you said that she described me to you guys, that's how she described y'all to me. Like, these are dope.
Okay.
Like Elgene, like there's just something different about this guy. Devvon, oh my God. Just it was like that.
Right. You know what's funny about that session? Remember, I tagged along with you because he was so young that his parents.
Yeah, I always be forgetting how young he is.
Facts. His parents sent me out there. The only way he was able to come to the sessions because his parents was like, "You're the only person we trust to let him to go with him to LA." So we went out there, and I was kind of the babysitter, bro. Like, no shade. Hey, let me show you something real quick. Engineers gives artists access to top quality audio engineers ready to get your song prepped for release. Book mixing and mastering engineers at affordable rates and pay how you prefer with their flexible payment options. And when your song is ready to ship, you can release it directly to your fans from the site. Check out Engineers today. But I was kind of babysitter and I was chilling and freaking, I remember Ari was like, Ari didn't know me.
Social media,
She was like, hey, how you doing? And she was like, you look familiar. And I was like, cool. And I was like, nice to meet you. And we're sitting there. And remember there was a moment she said, holy shit. And then that's when she knew who I was from just like the futuristic coast to coast stuff. So in the session, that's when she figured out who I was in that session. And that's when her and I started talking.
I probably wasn't there for
Maybe you walked out, but that's what she said. Oh, I remember you.
Ari's like a big godmother to me, man.
She was a homie, man. I really enjoyed that session, bro. Like for real. Like that session sat with me for a long time.
Also, shout out Jack. He going viral right now. On the Harmony stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He literally just figured out a great like way of just doing content, man.
That's all I see from him now. But the engagement is crazy.
And he's amazing at it. Like his vocal production, his voice is crazy.
Right.
Fucking his album was one of my most listened to.
We was bumping that shit for
All Dressed Up.
All Dressed Up.
Bro, we was bumping that for a minute, bro.
Like peak pop music, that disco. Shout out to Jack.
Shout out Jack.
Hey Jack, when I see you, man, come on the pod, bro.
Please, man. Like, that was awesome.
Hey, I do want to play a game.
Sure.
We got to play a game called One Gotta Go, bro. I'm gonna give you a couple options.
All right.
Tell me which one you would live without. All right.
All right.
Juno versus the ASM.
Hydrosynth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juno versus Hydrosynth?
Uh-huh.
Can we be more specific? Is it for me or is it for somebody? Like, am I producing for me or for somebody else? For me?
Yeah, for you. Good question.
If it's for me, I'm going to get rid of the Hydrosynth. If it's for somebody else, I'm getting rid of the Juno.
Interesting. Got you. You feel like the other one is very particular to your sound, right?
Yeah,
personally.
like Juno's giving you like warm 80s.
Right.
Like I can make leads, I can make pads.
Right.
The chorus one on that is absolutely crazy. That's why people buy it versus the chorus two. Yeah, like for myself and my production, what I like to do for me, Juno. If I'm doing something for somebody else, I can get way more creative. You can really dial in like envelopes, LFOs, all that kind of stuff. Hydrosynth, 100%.
Gotcha.
More options because I don't know what I'm going to walk into for somebody else.
Right. Understood.
Got you. Moog versus Prophet.
I'm going to try. I don't want to ask more specific stuff. Okay, just in general, Moog versus Prophet, I'm probably going to get rid of the Moog.
Yo, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I see everyone go always from the Moog. I see like if you're a Moog guy or girl, you're a Moog guy or girl. Like that's your thing. That's your thing. But if you're not, it's like most people I see just like kind of like glaze over it for the most part.
It's not that I'm glazing over. It's just
the
I use the
Prophet
Moog.
Is that good though.
Yeah, I use the Moog for like one thing. I use the Moog for low end.
For bass. Basically.
Unless I'm like really trying to make like some like a sine wave or something like that. I'm not really big into the like
synthesis.
Synthesis. You know what I'm saying? Like I am with the Juno, but it's still even like limited there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's enough for somebody who's like intermediate to be able to like shape shift and dive in. Moog, like I'm not
bro.
You know,
that's insane, bro. When I see people on stage with the Moog, like that's a Moog guy or girl, bro, I be like, bro, no, like that feel. I maybe like,
but shout out the people that do.
That's a fact.
Those people.
That's a fact. Seeing it
really
on stage is insane. Like it is really seeing them dial things in and like bro, that shit is insane to me.
Damn. Yeah. Shout out to I forget his name. I ran into a guy at a session and I was just like, yo, I wish I had the sound from this. And he just made it on the spot. And I was like, word. So I played him another record and he just like those people that have that superpower is
insane. When you say I need that sound and they that's insane.
Like,
that's another language, bro.
I'm gonna take a second. Shout out my two guys who I actually throw a lot of my production to, who send me stuff back. Eric Price and Corey Martin.
Yeah.
The synthesis, like they make sounds so good, bro. I have a record, so I had that House of Feel record. I did an alternate version. I did an alternate world version. I recorded a video at Gibson. We did it full band.
Oh, that's right. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I sent that off to my boy Eric, who like he's just really good with synths. He has like maybe he's so many of them, patches it in, like actually shapes everything.
Right.
It came back. I've never heard warmth like that.
Like that.
Like
Right.
that.
Right.
And then my boy Corey does the exact same thing where it's just like you shoot them the stems, be like, hey, take 2-3 passes, send me something back.
Right.
And all the time, like it's like the ear candy and the synths and the pad, bro. It's just insane.
Nuts.
So like shout out to the people that actually take the time to do that.
Right.
Because I'm a preset guy that'll like tweak a little bit.
Sure.
Same.
You know what I'm saying?
Same. I'm not ashamed.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, not ashamed to. And like I'll try to dive in a little bit more
Sure.
too if I got time.
Sure. Yeah.
But like people who can like really sit there and go from the sine wave and like
Right.
silent or something like that and like make
Yeah,
sense.
that's OD.
Yeah.
I'm a attack, sustain, release, decay guy. Like
Yeah.
straight up. I see that. I'm like right there.
Maybe LFO, you know.
Maybe a little LFO,
LFO,
like
you know,
but
and
when I see,
open it up just a little
yeah, I'm like, there we
bit.
go, a little release, and I'll be like, look at that, that's a vibe
Cut
sound
off.
now.
I'll be killing with that.
Nah, you know when
cut
it's,
off.
I be feeling like, damn, I made this sound.
you know when it starts to get scary?
What?
When you realize like how user friendly Serum is, and then you meet someone that's like really good at
good.
Serum.
Bro,
Those
that's
are the levels of Serum.
Yeah.
Shout out
wild.
Cat. Shout out Cat.
Shout out Cat,
He's so
for
nice.
sure. Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you
Sure,
guys?
shout out
Oh,
Cat.
sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you good.
No, you go ahead. What you saying?
I was gonna say, have you guys used Tapes O2 in Contact?
No. Tapes O2?
Tapes O2.
Okay.
Yeah, jot this one down, bro. For your like for top end stuff, just for movement, ear candy, just granular synthesis stuff, but just like in a way different way.
Right.
Tapes O2.
Tapes
Trust me,
O2.
you heard it here first. Tapes O2.
I'm looking this
Tapes
up.
O2.
I'm looking this up right
Ivan,
now.
I'm sorry I didn't give you the secret sauce.
Right.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I'm gonna do it here.
Oh, this is exclusive.
Ivan
Tapes
said,
O2.
be a man.
Wait. I do want to ask this. I know the
Dang.
answer. I know the answer.
I just
It's
want to ask,
alley-oop.
go. You know, to Contact is native with the new Pro Tools.
Yes, I do know that.
You are using it?
Not yet.
Oh,
Not yet.
I just want to see somebody use it because I haven't upgrade. I'm gonna update my Pro Tools.
Yeah,
for it.
I just updated Pro Tools.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, bull.
What is it? The
ARA? ARA.
What is that?
It's like,
It's some
to not
voodoo
get
y'all
deep,
added.
think about it. It's like that's pretty much our native, like kind of like, oh, now it's built in, but it's third party. Like a lot of the ARA stuff is third party. I think MIDI effects is considered ARA. I'm not sure if it's considered ARA.
Can
but
I be
like,
FL Studio BRB on the way?
clip
Just letting
effects.
y'all know.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie,
BRB
bro.
on the way, bro.
There's mad stuff that we got.
We gonna start making auto-tune native, and we gonna just start taking our favorite plugins and making
You would
them
make
native in
EFX
FL.
native for sure.
That's a
for sure.
fact.
Yeah.
OD, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Clip effects, bro. Clip effects. I can't even explain, bro. Like
No,
that.
Clip Effects is amazing.
It's amazing.
Like, it
dog.
is, though.
You ever use Clip Effects in Pro Tools?
Not too much.
Not
yet.
too much. Okay, got you. I just like started actually like putting it in my workflow
it's
for
dope.
like I use it more for like S's and T's. So if like there's literally like a very sibilant S, like it makes it so easy to like apply compression, EQ to just one section of a region, and it's like bro, it's amazing. Like that's I just love Clip Effects. That's like ARA. I don't know if that's considered ARA, but
I really just every time I got a song or a session or something like that, and it's gonna go into mix, I always just throw it to OT. But a lot of times it's just like I'm just doing the copy paste for like sibilants, or
Gotcha.
S's.
Right.
Just dropping it down like 4 or 5 dB,
right, and call it a day. Got
call
you
it
as
a
far
day.
as the clip. Okay, cool.
just enough to make that demo sound A1.
Right,
Gotcha.
right, type.
All right, I can't wink, but I'm just gonna audibly say wink. Okay.
Okay.
Les Paul versus Strat.
For my production personally, Gibson all day. I'm a Gibson guy.
Right.
Fully in. Yeah, like shout out Ray, shout out Ryan, Lorenzo, the whole team.
Right.
Gibson right down the road.
Right.
A lot of times I have a specific way that I like to make my Les Paul sound like a Strat for certain things.
Okay.
Gibson to the day I die will be my family.
Yeah.
Right.
They brought me in. Crazy. To make a very long story short, when we were first closing down playback in Santa Barbara and moving it down here, the guitar I recorded my very first project with, the owner Tucker was going back to the East Coast until we found a spot down here, and he was taking that guitar, and I couldn't afford one at the time.
Wow. Yeah.
And the day that we shut the doors is the day that Ray Vinton from Gibson emailed me saying she had heard my music from a friend,
Right.
and was like, I would love for you to come down to Los Angeles and check out our guitars. I went down the very next day, and she sent me back with one.
Wow.
Artist loaner
So
program.
dope.
Shout out.
So-
That's
to
fire,
Ray.
bro.
So I will never not be a Gibson.
Right.
I
A Gibson
agree,
guy.
I
That's what's
agree
up.
with you on the Les Paul, bro. And I remember me and Josiah have this convo all the time because it's always
why you're saying
it ends up being Strat versus Tele, and I love the Telecaster way more than the Strat. I just like it; just feels more bluesy.
Bluesy. I remember you. Yeah.
But that Les Paul, when you brought it to New York,
Yeah.
That Blue Les Paul, we did Let It Go on it.
Right, you came to New York and produced. By the way, he produced a bunch of records for me. By the way, damn, I forgot about that.
That Les Paul, it was
I forgot.
It felt good, and I was just like, it surprised me. I think I said it. I was just like, bro, I didn't know Gibson had it like this.
Yeah,
because it's always been. I've always been a Fender kid, but goodness, and having you say that just brought it back in my mind. Like, man, I might just go cop a SG or something before.
Yeah, it's literally like I've never. And I've worked with people within Fender, don't get me wrong, but like I've never met a family, like a major corporation, a multi-million-dollar corporation that feels like family like that.
I get you. I understand.
Like we go to NAMM, like it's always like go up to the owner like,
hey,
Austin, how are you? Look me in the eyes. Like Beth right down the road, who's like the regional manager. Austin, oh my gosh, baby, how are you? Like lives right up the road.
Right.
Bro, we have dinners type thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, like Ray and Ryan, like, I'm in a bowling league. Like, side note, like if I wasn't doing music, I'd be going to the PBA for real.
Wow, that is a random stat. I did not know that about you, by the way.
I'm a 237 scratch bowler right now.
Oh, snaps.
Jay
said, God damn. Jay said, God damn.
That's hard.
Yeah, I'm a 237 scratch bowler right now. I actually have league tonight at Corbin Bowl.
Right.
Smoke him today, bro.
Literally on my bowling team is the guitar tech at Gibson.
Oh wow, that's so cool, man.
You know what I'm saying? Ray, I walk outside of my door, I could throw a rock to where she lives at. Like where dogs play, like it's family like that.
Right.
So Gibson near and dear to my heart. However, I will say there are moments, there are times, and even people in Gibson will say this, just like I believe people in Fender would say this, that different songs call for different guitars.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know? So even some of Gibson's biggest artists. Like, I'm out there with Ray at a 1975 show, and they're using Les Pauls, they're using 335s. Right. Some of their bigger songs, they're switching to a Fender.
Wow,
you know
got you, understood.
So it's like, I mean, you could be ride or die or loyal, but at the end of the day, it's not about that, it's about the song.
It's about the song.
It's about the song.
Right, and what gets the job done, understood.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, my last thing, and I always end it with this, workflow versus sonics. Which one do you prioritize more?
Lately, I hate to say it, but probably workflow. But in my core is sonics.
Got you. Everyone's been saying workflow, by the way.
Yeah, I live and die by workflow.
Like a lot of people have been saying workflow.
Leslie says sonics. So
Sonics is very obviously sonics is very important to all of us. It's music, right? But at the same time, I think that workflow has been important because of the way we're producing these days, and a lot of us. It's a fast-paced world, you know what I mean, with the music stuff. Like you can, of course, you take your time, you make the music, have fun. But then when it comes to the other side, as far as deliverable, delivering files, it gets different. That's why I feel like the workflow thing, like, kind of like has to come in work, especially with you at playback and stuff, where it's like we have clients. Like I don't want to be like, well, let me like try every mic on you and stuff. It's like no, like you have to like kind of have things set up and kind of ready and be moving. You know what I mean in that environment.
No, I actually think that there is. I think it takes a certain particular person with experience to be able to have a healthy balance of both,
right?
For sure,
right.
And I think that like all of us in this room could say that we were probably that.
Sure.
But I do think the person who's kind of like just watching this podcast trying to learn things for the first time, they're probably got to think about workflow because they're just new to the game. They're just trying to jump in.
Right.
But it gets to a level, bro, where you really want the Grammys, bro. Like you really want to make a difference.
Yes.
Right.
You really want somebody. You want to be impactful and make somebody feel something.
Right.
It's going to be the Sonics.
Yeah. Right. For sure.
Sonics,
It's the way it feels.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, Austin, thank you so much for giving us your time,
thank you guys
bro.
for having me, man.
Of course, bro. For clap it up for Austin Sexton one time, y'all. Austin, can you please tell them where to follow you, your music, even, if Playback has an ad. I'll make sure I put it in the description, but like let them know for the most part.
So Austin Sexton, artist, platinum producer, engineer, whatever you need, we got you. I am Austin Sexton on Instagram, same with X, same with YouTube. I'm out of Playback Recording Studio here in LA. Here, actually right up the road, Lake Balboa. That's playbackrecording.com. And yeah, I mean, I'm an audio nerd just like my audio nerds here.
Yes, sir.
And we love to keep it a stack and make sure everything sounds great.
For
I
sure.
really appreciate you guys having me. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Come on, man.
we're going to do another Brooklyn trip, so you go come out here.
Yeah. We talked last time at NAMM. I never forgot our conversation as far as
bro,
like,
I'm ready to rock.
I know. We'll figure it out.
Yo, you trying to go to the Clippers game tonight, bro?
Hell no.
Please make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Remember, one lucky person in the comment section is going to win that VIP Gold Edition Rosetta EQ or compressor. So please make sure you leave your @name for Instagram so we can hit you and tell you won. Again, thank you to Engineers for also giving us the space and sponsoring these episodes. One other thing is you can become a paid member of the channel. By the way, members already saw this video.
Facts.
So you get exclusive videos, money in the store, merch, all kinds of really, really cool things.